Vaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Jaya Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhiriyat Nashtaprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 8, talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai. So in verse 57, Mahaprabhu ordered Ramanand Rai that in 656 verse he asked, what is the ultimate goal of life? And Ramanand Rai replied, and Mahaprabhu said, quote a verse, because ultimately everything depends on some scripture, quotation from some proper bona fide scripture. So Ramanand Rai quotes this verse, text 58. Varnashrama charatavata purushena parapuman Vishnuraradhyate pantha Nanya Tattosha Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by the proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must be situated in the institution of the four Varnas and Ashrams. And this is from the scripture, from Vishnu Puran. This is a quotation from Vishnu Puran, as stated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrit Prabha Bhashya. The purport is that one can realize life's perfection simply by satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in Bhagavatam, Atha Pambir Dvijashareshta Varnashram Vibhagasham. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation, according to caste divisions and orders of life, is to please the personality of Godhead. So, this is how Ramanand Rai started. And Prabhupada further explains about Varnashram institution. Every man should perform his occupational duty in the light of his particular tendency. According to his abilities, one should accept a position in the Varnashram institution. The divisions of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra are natural divisions within the society. Indeed, everyone has a prescribed duty according to the Varnashram Dharma. Those who properly execute their prescribed duties live peacefully and are not disturbed by material conditions. The spiritual orders, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyas, are called ashrams. So if one executes his prescribed duty in both the social and spiritual orders, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied. Because this is why he has created Varnashram Dharma system for the proper upkeep and proper functioning of the society. And if one is really at peace in his position, then he can make progress spiritually. If one neglects his duties, however, he becomes a transgressor and a candidate for hellish condition. Actually, we see that different people are engaged in different ways. Therefore, there must be divisions according to work. To attain perfection, one must make devotional service the center of life. So, devotional service should be the center of life, not like Vaishyas, they just do business, make money, and then enjoy that money. And Kshatriyas, they just wage wars over other kingdoms and just kill unnecessarily and enjoy power, position, women, whatever. And the Brahmins, they start taking money for whatever they do and start trying to enjoy. And Shudras try to see them, and they also try to enjoy it. No. The center should be, center of life should be devotional service. But that somehow it became non-existent. In this way, one can awaken his natural instincts by work, association, and education. One should accept the Varnashram divisions by qualification, not by birth. So unless this system is introduced, human activities cannot be systematically executed. The Brahmins are the intellectuals who can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are always engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. It doesn't matter whether one is born in India or outside India. Those who are naturally very heroic and who tend to rule over others are called Kshatriyas. Those who tend to produce food by agricultural methods, protect cows and other animals, and engage in trade are called Vaishyas or merchants. Those who are not sufficiently intelligent to be Brahmins, Kshatriyas, or Vaishyas are required to serve a master and are called Shudras. Thus, everyone can engage in the service of the Lord and awaken his natural Krishna consciousness. See, awaken his natural Krishna consciousness means right now it's dormant somehow, it is sleeping. And it is natural, it's nothing artificial, Krishna consciousness. So everybody is Krishna. Jiva Swarup hai, Krishnera Nitya Das, Mahaprabhu says. But we have forgotten, completely forgotten. And another issue is because somehow we don't believe in reincarnation. That we were here before in some other body, some other family, some other country. And we are here now and we will be here again. So what happens is when somebody says, oh, because of caste system, Shudras, so-called Shudras, they are exploited and you should change. Well, if somebody is born in a Shudra family, but he's not a Shudra just because he's taken birth in that family, he can become whatever his guna and karma is. But this is not the end of the whole cycle. It goes on and on and on and on. But we, or the whoever the ulterior motives are, with politicians or whether other big businesses, they obviously they try to exploit others. Their ultimate aim is if I have more money and if I have somehow take part, if I become powerful, then I'll enjoy. I'll control and I'll enjoy. Well, what will happen to your next life? You cannot be the controller and owner, enjoyer for the rest of eternity. It's not possible. Jatasi dhruvo mrityu. One who has taken birth is definitely going to die. And one who has died, he will take birth again. So this part is missing from our education system. If this is really ingrained in us, then we will not or try not to commit sins. Hey, I have to come back and get punished for whatever I do. Why should I do it? But somehow this part is out. And those who are not Brahmins but acting at Brahman, Brahman means who gives scriptural knowledge. They themselves don't believe and they see this life is all in all and we just enjoy this life. And they somehow they convince the clients, oh, I'll take care of next life. Don't worry. Don't look at all the scriptures. I can take care. No, nobody can take care. Only by bhakti one can, or not one can, When one performs bhakti, it's by mercy of Krishna, his karmas are finished. Or he can get extra, not his karmas, but the reactions, because Krishna wants to finish off his rest of his lives. He wants him to progress fast, surrender, and get out of it. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajan. Lord Brahma, who is the creator, secondary creator of this universe, he says that only by bhakti one can burn off his karmas. Otherwise, no. So this part is missing from our education system. That sooner or later, whether this lifetime, next lifetime, some other lifetime, we have to meet our karma. We have to get the reactions. And which karma, what reaction from which lifetime, we don't know. But it will definitely be there. So this part, people in general don't understand. And that is why there are so much of chaos all over the world. So many court cases are there. The disruptions and unrest. We just don't understand. If that's a proper say, if a society does not function according to such natural divisions, the social orders become degraded. The conclusion is that the scientific method of Varnashram Dharma should be adopted by society. And whether formally being adopted or not, it's there in every society. In every society, there is a teaching class, there is an administrative class, there's a business class, and there's a servant class. In every society, it is there. But they are not acting according to the rules for that class. That's where the problem is. There are only few rules. Just make money. By hook or by crook, make a buck. That's it. Make money, enjoy as much as you can, and that's it. Who cares for next life? We don't know what is going to happen in next life. Who has seen next life? But this is where scriptures come in. We have to see through the eyes of scriptures. Prabhu ke eho bhaya, aage kaha. Mahaprabhu said, this is external. No, this is not. Varnashram dharma, not enough. Aage kaha. Rai kahe Krishna karmarpan sarva sadhya sar. So Ramanand Rai is now getting excited. Yes, somebody is there who wants to really know. Or like he says, you're just making me an instrument to say whatever you wanted me to say. So then he still doesn't say about bhakti, Ramananda Rai. He says, Krishna karma arpan. Means we give our fruitive results, offering the results of activities to Krishna. That is sarva sadhya sar. Now he is quoting from scriptures. Everything is from scriptures. But scriptures also take us gradually on the path of progress in spirituality. Krishna says sarva dharman parityaja. Even that was not enough from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's point of view. But even to come to the level of sarva dharman parityaja, mam ekam sharanam vraja, it will take us many lifetimes. Not going to happen in one lifetime. So this is the beauty of Vedic scriptures. First of all, there's so many scriptures in Sanatana Dharma. And then they all are there for us to make gradual progress. And once we make the progress, Krishna will make sure we'll get the new understanding, new meaning, and then we can make further progress. It's not that, oh, I haven't read this, so I will not make progress. No, no, it's Krishna's jurisdiction. He'll take care. He will definitely take care. Just like yesterday, Anima Mataji was asking, oh, suppose somebody is working, serving Krishna whole day, and I only get to serve half an hour, 1 hour, whatever. I'll not make progress. No, we make progress on our pace, according to our status. Krishna will take care. He sees the heart of everybody. Only thing is, we should not become envious of anybody and try to pull him or her down. That's not what we are supposed to do. Be happy with whatever service we got. Pray to Krishna. Please, if you think I'm eligible, entitled, please give me more service. And Krishna will give more service. So, satisfaction for what we got and hankering for more service. That's how we make progress. So now Ramanand Rai says, Krishna Karmarapana Sarvasadhyasa. The Lord replied, this is external. This means the Varnashram Dharma. This is external. You had better tell me of some other means. Ramanand Rai replied, to offer the results of one's activities to Krishna is the essence of all perfection. Offering the results of one's activities. So he hasn't come to the level of bhakti yet. And he quotes a verse. Yat karoshi yad ashnashi yad juhoshi dadashi yat tapasyasi konteya matat kurushva mad arpanam. And this is from Bhagavad Gita. Ramanand Rai continued, my dear son of Kunti, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give in charity, and whatever austerities you perform, all the results of such activities should be offered to me, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So somebody can think this is the topmost verse. This is the goal of life. That's it. Fine. Follow this. Slowly, Krishna will make sure you make progress. The Lord has said that the Varnashram Dharma is not properly executed in this age of Kali. Therefore, he ordered Ramanand Rai to go further into the matter. Ramanand Rai replied with this verse from Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 27th verse, which instructs that while remaining in the system of Varnashram Dharma, one may offer the results of his activities to Lord Shri Krishna in loving service. There is one difference, although. Here, Krishna says, Yat karoshi, whatever you do, you give me, make an offering. Yadashnashi, whatever you eat, you offer it. There's a difference between this and the verse previous to this in Bhagavad Gita. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Offer me with love and devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam, and I'll accept it. It's different from this one. That is pure bhakti. This is karma arpana, offering the results of one's activities. Krishna is so merciful, he still accepts it. Fine. Means whatever you eat, offer it to me. I want to eat anything today, so I offer. Better than that is whether I want to eat something or not, or I can eat something or not, I still make it for Krishna, for his enjoyment. Naturally, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking Ramanand Rai about the execution of devotion service. Ramanand Rai first enunciated the principle of Varnashram Dharma in consideration of materialistic people. However, this conception is not transcendental. As long as one is in the material world, he must follow the principles of Varnashram Dharma. But devotional service is transcendental. The system of Varnashram Dharma refers to the three modes of material nature, but transcendental devotional service is on the absolute platform. So slowly, through Ramanand Rai, Mahaprabhu brings us to that level. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to the spiritual world, and his methods of propagating the Sankirtan movement are also imported from the spiritual world. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Golokera Premadhan Hari Nama Sankirtan, Ratina Janmila Kenetai. This states that the Sankirtan movement has nothing to do with this material world. It is imported from the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. Narottam Das Thakur laments that mundane people do not take this Sankirtan movement seriously. Considering the position of devotion service and the Sankirtan movement, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deemed the system of Varnashram Dharma to be material, although it aims at elevation to the spiritual platform. So its aim is elevation to spiritual platform, but it is material. It's for the proper upkeep of the society in the material world. However, the Sankirtan movement can raise one immediately to the spiritual platform. Because Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. It's there, Golokera. Golok Premdan, not even Vaikuntha Loka Premdan. It's in Golok, it's in the Harinam Sankirtan. Consequently, it is said that Varnashram Dharma is external, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Ramanand Rai to proceed deeper into the matter and uncover the spiritual platform. Sometimes materialists consider Lord Vishnu a material conception. Impersonalists think that above Lord Vishnu is an impersonal Brahman. The impersonalists misunderstand the worship of Lord Vishnu. They worship Lord Vishnu to merge into his body. In order that Vishnu Aradhana not be misunderstood, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested that Sri Ramanand Rai proceed further and clear up the issue. Ramanand Rai quoted the words from the Bhagavad Gita stating that the results of one's occupational duty may be offered to Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So results of one's occupational duty, karma arpana, to Krishna. In Bhagavatam, it is also said, Dharma swanashtita pamsam vishwaksen gatha surya na utpadeyate yadi ratim shrama evahi kevalam. If one executes the occupational duties of Varnashram Dharma, but does not cultivate his dormant Krishna consciousness, his activities are futile. His occupation simply becomes unnecessary labor. So dharma swanashtita. Dharma means the Varnashram Dharma. If one doesn't cultivate his dormant Krishna consciousness, then it's of no use. It's just a unnecessary labor. Okay. Now what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu ke eho bhai, aage kahar. Even this is external. I mean, all these activities or processes are taking us slowly to pure devotional service. Rai kahe swadharma tyag, ei sadhyasar. So first is Krishna, first is Varnashram Dharma, then Krishna karma arpana, and then he says swadharma tyag, give up. Let's see. This is also external, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Please proceed and speak further on this matter. Ramanand Rai replied, to give up one's occupational duties in the Varnashram system is the essence of perfection. Well, actually it is not, but this is how Ramanand Rai is proceeding. A Brahmin may renounce his family and accept sannyas. Others, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, may also give up their families and take to Krishna consciousness. Such renunciation is called karma tyag. By such renunciation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied. He's satisfied, but he is not pleased. Satisfied in the sense that yes, the soul is trying to get away from the entanglement of the material world, but the pleasure is not there yet. In contrast, the process of renouncing the results of one's activities by offering these results to Krishna is not considered uncontaminated, because although such a process implies that one recognizes Krishna as a supreme person, it still involves one in activities on the material platform. So even karma arpan is not uncontaminated, means it still has some contamination. Since such activities are within the material universe, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered them external. To correct this, Ramananda Rai recommended that one take to the renounced order of life in order to transcend material activities. This is supported by following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, agya yevam gunana doshan maya dishtan api sukhan dharman santyajya yah sarvan mam bhajet sacha sattama. Ramanand Rai continued that Krishna himself said this in Bhagavatam. Occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, he can fully understand their qualities and faults and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person is considered a first-class man. So, give them. Just like Krishna himself said in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharmana parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami ma shucha. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, after giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I'll give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry. So it's interesting what Mahaprabhu will say after this, because this is the ultimate instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Purport. In this connection, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami instructs in his book, Manaha Shiksha, Na dharmam na adharmam shruti gana niruktam killa kuru vraje radha krishna prachur paricharyam ihatan. He has thus enjoined that we should not perform religious or irreligious activities as prescribed in the Vedas. The best course is to engage always in the service of Lord Krishna and Radharani. That is a perfection of everything in this life. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said by Narad Muni, Yada yasyanu grinanti bhagwan atma bhavita sajahati matim loke vedeja parinishtitam. When one actually takes to the loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gives up all duties in the material world, as well as duties prescribed by the Vedic literatures. In this way, one is fixed in the service of the Lord. So, giving up everything, dharmatya, sarva dharmatya. Prabhu kahe eho vai aage kahar. Mahaprabhu, even this is external. Because this is not going inside towards a devotional service. Rai kahe jnana mishra bhakti sadhya sar. So now he's talking about bhakti, but he is still jnana mishra. not uncontaminated, pure bhakti, Mishra bhakti. After hearing Ramanand Rai speak in this way, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again rejected this statement and said, "Go ahead and say something more." Ramanand Rai then replied, "Devotional service mixed with empiric knowledge is the essence of perfection." Although they both know it's not. But Ramanand Rai is gradually taking the reader up and up and up and up. Devotional service mixed with non-Vedic speculative knowledge is certainly not pure devotional service. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati in his Anubhashya preaches that self-realization following the execution of ritualistic ceremonies is in the neutral stage between liberation and conditioned life. So self-realization following the execution of ritualistic ceremonies is in the neutral stage. Means it's still not in the spiritual world. It is a place beyond this material world, in the river Virja, where the three modes of material nature are subdued or neutralized in the unmanifest stage. However, the spiritual world is a manifestation of spiritual energy and is known as Vaikuntha Loka, the place where there is no anxiety. So Vaikuntha means Vigat Kuntha, no anxiety, only happiness. The material world known as Brahmand is a creation of the external energy. Between the two creations, the material creation and the spiritual creation, is a river known as Viraja, as well as a place known as Brahmaloka, or it also called sometimes Brahmajyoti. Well, Brahmajyoti is also around the Vaikuntha Lokas. That is true. But it's still not the Loka, Vaikuntha Loka. So between the two creations, the material creation and the spiritual creation, it's a river known as Viraja, as well as a place known as Brahmaloka. Viraja Nadi and Brahmaloka are shelters for living entities disgusted with material life and inclined to impersonal existence by way of denying material variegatedness. So disgusted with material life. Of course, they don't want to be in the material world. This is too much. Place of misery and so much of nonsense activities go on. But they don't have information or inclination towards the service of the Lord in the spiritual world. So they end up in Viraja or Brahmaloka, Brahmajyoti. Since these places are not situated in the Vaikuntha Lokas or the spiritual world, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proclaims them to be external. But still external. Come to Vaikuntha Loka. In the Brahmaloka and Virja Nadi, one cannot conceive of the Vaikuntha Lokas. Brahmaloka and Virja Nadi are also attained after difficult austerities. But in these realms, there is no understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His transcendental loving service. Without such spiritual knowledge, simple detachment from material conditions is but another side of material existence. Why another side of material existence? Means a person doesn't have information or attachment for the Lord and His devotional service. So he has gone up to the Brahmajyoti, Brahmaloka, Virjanadi, different names. But the real happiness is not there. Just like in Bhagavatam, the explanation is given. Just like if a bird, really big bird, is flying up in the sky, but he needs to come down somewhere to take shelter. How long he can keep on flying? He needs to take shelter. In Brahman Jyoti, there is no such shelter, shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So he has to come down, or he comes down to the material world again after whatever, a very long time. But he has to, there is no shelter there. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this proposal, Ramananda Rai suggested that devotional service based on philosophy and logic is a more advanced position. He therefore quoted the following words from Bhagavad Gita. Everything is from scriptures. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim davate param. Ramananda Rai continued, according to the Bhagavad Gita, one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotion service unto me. But there is a catch. In this verse from Bhagavad Gita, it is said that a person who accepts the theory of monism or Advaitvad, being always engaged in empiric philosophical discussions about spiritual life, becomes joyful and is relieved from all material lamentation and hankering. At that stage, one is equipoised. He sees all living entities as spiritual beings. After attaining this elevated stage, one can attain pure devotional service. One can, but not there yet. The conclusion is that devotional service mixed with ritualistic, fruitive activity is inferior to spiritual service based on empiric philosophic discussion. It's still inferior. And then what Mahaprabhu said, Prabhu kahe eho bhaya, aage kaha. Even this is extra, but not it. Rai kahe gyan shunya bhakti sadhya sar. So gyan, first he said gyan mishrat. Now he says gyan shunya. After hearing this, the Lord, as usual, rejected it, considering it to be external devotion service. He again asked Ramananda Rai to speak further. And Ramananda Rai replied, pure devotional service without any touch of speculative knowledge is the essence of perfection. So in his Anubhashya commentary, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that the stage of devotional service mixed with speculative knowledge is also external and not within the jurisdiction of pure devotional service as practiced in Vaikuntha Loka. As soon as there is some conception of materialistic thought, be it positive or negative, the service is not spiritual. Some conception of materialistic thought, be it positive or negative, it's not spiritual. It may be free from material contamination, but because there is mental speculation, the devotional service is not pure and freed from the contamination of material life. A living entity who wants to be completely pure must be above this material conception. The negation of material existence does not necessarily mean spiritual existence. It could be in Brahm Jyoti. After material existence is negated, spiritual existence, namely Sat Chit Ananda, still may not be manifested. So until one comes to the stage of actually understanding one's eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, he cannot enter into spiritual life. One's eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, unless until we understand that, Prabhupada says we cannot enter spiritual life. So spiritual life means becoming detached from material life and engaging in the loving service of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore asked Ramananda Rai to explain something transcendental to devotional service mixed with speculative knowledge. So Gyan Mishra Bhakti, he says it's external. A pure devotee is completely surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord, and only by his love does he conquer Krishna, who cannot be conquered by anyone. Krishna always stands victorious over everything. No one can conquer it. One can attain the stage of pure devotion simply by fully surrendering. This is corroborated by Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein Lord Brahma, defeated by the potency of Shri Krishna, fully surrendered unto the Lord. So, Ravanara then quotes, Jnane prayasamudpasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya varata sthane sthita shrutigatam tanuvan manover ye prayaso ajito jito api asi tes trilokyam. Ramanand Rai continued, Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, those devotees who have thrown away the impersonal conception of the absolute truth and have therefore abandoned discussing empiric philosophical truths should hear from self-realized devotees about your holy name, form, pastimes, and qualities. They should completely follow the principles of devotional service and remain free from illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and animal slaughter. Surrendering themselves fully with body, words, and mind, they can live in any ashram or social status. Indeed, you're conquered by such persons, although you're always unconquerable. So, conquered means then they are engaged in devotional service. Then, oh my Lord, you are really attracted by their service, by their surrender, to whatever extent they have surrendered. And slowly, 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 they'll surrender more and more and more. So starting from Varnashram, then Karma Arpan, then Swadharma Tyag, and then Gyan Mishit Bhakti. Then he comes to this level, Gyan Shunya Bhakti. It's the beginning stages. And I think we can stop. But next verse, Mahaprabhu says, Eho hai, aage kaha. So far he was saying Eho bhai. This is all external. Now he's saying yes, yes, but speak further. So we'll discuss it tomorrow. What this discussion goes on, how this discussion goes on. It's wonderful discussion. Very, very nice. We should, in fact, we should memorize all these points. What Ramanand Rai is making, and when Mahaprabhu said, yes, now this is bhakti, starting to sound like bhakti. Now talk further. Okay, I guess I can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, I have one question. So like here also it is said that there should not be any material concussion, like we should not try to prove anything based on what is material. हमको कुछ speculate करने की जरूरत नहीं है. और it's like तो फिर ये जो गीता में कृष्ण भगवान कहते हैं कि सर्वधर्माने परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणं व्रज, और फिर 4th अध्याय में जो उसके पहले कहते हैं कि वो धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय असंभवानी युगे युगे, तो ये धर्म क्या है फिर? वो हम अपने बिना अपने मटेरियल थॉट प्रोसेस से समझे हुए हम धर्म को कैसे समझे?
See, अपने प्रोसेस से नहीं, but प्रभुपाद के पर्पट से समझे ना. See, dharma is many types of dharmas are there. One is varnashram dharma.
Okay.
But then there above that dharma is jiva dharma. What is our real dharma? The dharma actually it is explained is constitutional position of a soul.
Okay.
So that is the real, or whatever what we call as Sanatan Dharma. That is a Sanatan Dharma. The constitutional position of every soul is to serve Krishna. So Krishna comes to give this, but not everybody is on that level so they can understand. So, okay, those who cannot, at least start with Varnashram Dharma. Because in Bhagavad Gita only, Krishna also says, even pure devotional service, he touches it. Manmana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. He says this 2 times.
Yes,
This one.
yes, Prabhuji.
So he says everything. That's why Prabhupada, when he wrote his commentary, he wrote it, entitled it as it is, because this is what Krishna wants. If we try to read Gita and try to understand on our own, we'll make mistakes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So as in
Okay.
like
Yeah.
अगर किसी को अगर समझना है तो इट्स लाइक कि प्रभुपाद ने जैसे लिखा है कि जीवेर स्वरूप होय कृष्ण नित्य दास, मतलब कि constitutional position of any living entity or any living any living entity is to be the servant of Krishna or to serve Krishna. पर
Yeah.
हम अगर उस लेवल पे नहीं है टू सर्व कृष्णा, तो हमें वानप्रस्थ जो आप बोल रहे हैं, जो उसमें लिखा है
Varnashram, not one.
वर्णाश्रम, यस, वर्णाश्रम धर्म
Yeah.
फॉलो करना चाहिए. मतलब फिर वर्णाश्रम धर्म अगेन इज लाइक मतलब अपने गुण कर और अपने कर्मों के मुताबिक हमें अपना धर्म हमारा उसी के ऊपर होगा ना प्रभु जी, हमारा कैसा हम. ओके.
Yeah, but in the center should be devotional service that not everybody follows. At least do something.
ओके प्रभु जी.
ठीक है. Okay.
थैंक यू
You
वेरी
all
मच
have a
प्रभु जी.
safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.